The time I worked with Akon in Atlanta, Georgia, we both had the same attorney James Moore, and he represented other acts like Escape and, of course, Akon, myself. I get a call one day from Attorney Moore. He's like, "Hey, Ricco, do you know a guy named Akon?" I was like, "Oh, absolutely." Like, I've heard some of his songs circling around Atlanta. I think Dallas was playing some of his stuff, or either Dave Gates or Julian Wright was playing some of his stuff. And he was signed to Sylvia Rome back then on Elektra Records. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be huge one day. Like, because of his tone and his melodies, it was just reminiscent of Michael Jackson's tonality. So James is like, "Hey, go over to his place." And he had a studio in his house, and he had a girl group. I think the name of the girl group was like Brown Lace or something. I think it was a set of twins. Very beautiful. But at that point in time, he had these Elisa's ADAT set up and this Mackie 32 channel board. We were doing edits and that kind of thing and sending rough mixes to Elektra. But shortly thereafter, Akon departed ways with Elektra and was on the search for his own label and production company. His partner back then was Divine Stevens. And I remember Divine coming up to the studio, man, like 4 o'clock in the morning, pulls up in his white S550 or something like that. And I was out getting some fresh air. And I remember him playing some more Akon stuff. Fast forward another opportunity, my artist I had signed to me, Ralph, aka Guccione, we had a single deal with the album option through Capitol Records. I remember Akon coming to the studio and I was telling him about, like, "Rick, what you got going on?" I was like telling him about my artist. He said, "I like to get on the album." I was like, "Cool." And he was playing some tracks, and then he had his brother Maestro come up and play some more tracks. Around that time is when Akon took off. I think he went out to LA. I guess he secured his deal, and Maestro had submitted a couple of tracks to us, and we were about to use them. However, because we had a single deal with the album option, Roy Lott, which was the president at the time, ended up leaving Capitol. And I think he went to either RCA or BMG or something like that. And all his whole roster basically got shelved. So we got the short end of the stick. Nonetheless, it was a cool experience working with Akon. When I talk about talented, he's one of the talented artists that I've ever worked with as well.